So in my last video, we talked about what happens when AI replaces you, how losing your work can collapse your identity. But for a lot of people, that identity collapse starts long before AI ever enters the picture. That's what this episode is about. Most men aren't burned out from working too hard. They're burnt out from working against themselves and because of their misaligned jobs. If your effort aligns with who you are, it actually means something to you. You can work insane hours and still feel alive. But when your work contradicts your nature, when it keeps you performing and stressing instead of creating and expressing, that's when the collapse eventually starts. You start noticing little signs. You start resenting emails, deadlines, and even people you used to like. It's not just a matter of fatigue, it's rejection by your own body and mind. We men tend to rationalize it. We say, oh, I just need to push through. I just need to rest after this week, or month, or year. But the more you push, the faster your body starts pulling the brakes. That's what career burnout starts. Your system saying, I'm not spending another ounce of energy keeping this fake version of me alive. And the reason rest doesn't help is because rest doesn't fix misalignment. You can take a week off, 2 weeks off, or even a sabbatical. But if you come back to the same work that zaps all your energy away, the exhaustion returns within days. That's because you're not just tired from work, you're tired from hiding who you are. For me, the cracks started showing years before I actually admitted it. I was still performing well, at least that's what I was told. But something inside me had already checked out. After my divorce, I threw myself into work even harder than before, convincing myself that achievement would fill the silence. But it didn't. What actually happened was a lot stranger. I'd finish a big project or hit a milestone and still feel nothing. No high, no sense of pride, just emptiness. I'd wake up early, open my laptop, and sometimes just stare at it. And I knew there was nothing really left for me to give here anymore. But instead of listening, I just kept pushing, because that's what we men do. We just override. We tell ourselves discipline will save us. And it works, at least for a while. Until your mind and body finally align and go, nope, we're done. That's when the burnout hits you like a wall. When you live out of alignment for too long, when your outer world stops matching your inner truth, your mind slips into cognitive dissonance. It's that inner tug of war between who you really are and who you think you have to be. And maintaining that false identity burns a massive amount of energy. So what happens? Your brain releases cortisol and adrenaline to keep you running on fumes. Your body stays in a constant, low-grade fight-or-flight state. And over time, the system collapses. You're withdrawing from the version of yourself you've been addicted to. The provider, the achiever, the fixer. That's why burnout feels like grief, because something inside you is actually dying. And no amount of coffee, vacation, or life hacks can bring that version back. Because deep down, it's not supposed to return. This is the point where men often panic. We think, well, if I'm not that guy anymore, then who the hell am I? We men are conditioned to equate output with worth. It starts early. Get the grades, get the job, get the title. The moment we stop producing, we feel invisible. So when burnout hits, it doesn't just strip away your energy, it attacks your whole identity. You're not just tired, you're questioning your entire existence. And because no one ever taught us emotional language beyond anger and silence, we default to numbing. We distract, we scroll, and develop unhealthy habits and addictions. Anything to not face that emptiness that is underneath. But here's the paradox. That emptiness isn't the enemy, it's the doorway. It's what's left when all the roles, achievements, and performances start dissolving. It's where the truth begins to surface painfully slow, but real. At some point, you stop trying to fix it. You stop trying to be motivated. You just let the burnout do what it needs to do. And that's the moment most people mistake for failure. But if you're patient and stay in it long enough, you'll notice something. Beneath the exhaustion, there's silence. Like the noise finally clears. In that silence, all the noise that used to run your life, the pressure, the striving, and for some of you, the people-pleasing, starts to sound absurd. You start realizing how much of your drive wasn't natural ambition, but fear. Fear of being a nobody. Some people say you just need to find balance. But balance between what? Between two forms of pretending? You can't self-care your way out of an identity crisis, because a career burnout isn't only caused by working too hard, it's caused by working out of sync with who you are. Rest is just a surface-level solution to a structural problem. It's like polishing the hood of a car with a broken engine. Until you question why you're still performing in a life that drains you, you'll keep returning to the same burnout cycles. And that's the real pattern. Men burn out, take some time off, feel a bit better, and return to the same misaligned grind until their body forces another shutdown. This isn't weakness, it's the nerve system doing what the mind refuses to do, to protect your authenticity. Let's go deeper into why we cling so hard to work that really drains us. We were raised to believe that the man who endures wins. So when we start feeling disconnected, we see it as a moral failure, not as a signal. We double down, we work harder, and we mistake exhaustion for duty and burnout for sacrifice. But here's what I've learned. The man who can no longer fake it, that's not weakness, that's evolution. Because at some point, the cost of maintaining the mask exceeds the reward. And your body, mind, and soul will eventually choose truth over performance, even when it destroys everything that you've built. In that case, career burnout isn't your downfall, it's your system rebooting. A forced reboot that strips away everything that's not taking you anywhere. When you finally stop resisting the career burnout, you start realizing you're not lazy, you're grieving. Grieving the version of you that was able to pretend. Grieving the belief that your achievements and external success could ever make you whole. And slowly, you start listening, really listening to what your body and soul have been trying to tell you all along. I tell myself career burnout, or burnout in general, isn't a malfunction. It's the bridge between the life that made sense in your 20s and 30s and the deeper life that's awaiting you in your 40s, 50s, and beyond. It's not about working less. It's about working in alignment with what's true. Most men never cross that bridge. They medicate, distract, or double down on performance. The ones who endure it, who actually let burnout transform them, they come out different, quieter, wiser, grounded, and done performing. They stop chasing and they start living. So if you're wondering why no amount of rest is fixing you, well, maybe it's because you're supposed to transform. Just know career burnout isn't the end. It's your body, mind, and soul telling you, we've played this role long enough. It's time to see who you really are. And that's the beginning of everything real. I'm still in this process myself, and I'll keep sharing what I learn along the way, because none of this means that you've failed. It just means you're finally waking up. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.